Hey guys, welcome back. Here's something I just picked up that's really cool, that I've been looking forward to getting one for quite a long time. It's the slicer shredder attachment for the Sunbeams. It's got the hopper here, the feed, and all that, and this hopper is also a disconnect switch so that when you have this open, the blade stops spinning in here. When I got it, I've already had this thing apart, and when I got it, I mean, it wouldn't really turn very well, and I figured I'd take it all apart, get it cleaned out, and just get it ready to be put into use. After I was done, I figured, well, I probably should have done a video of this so I can show you guys how this thing comes apart. So I'm going to go ahead and just get started on that right away. I take the knob off the end and also reverse threaded. Okay, there's a screw here. And there's a nut here. These both have to go. The other side of that nut is a little carriage bolt. Okay, so once you get that disconnected, you can separate the outside housing from your door and your little gearbox here. This door is screwed into the shaft right here, which works a little lever. We'll get this door off here so we can take a look at that. Now I put this back together, everything's cleaned up, but I haven't greased it just so I can show you guys a little bit better, and then I'll get it greased up when I put it back together. Alright, this is really tricky to get off. I had a heck of a time trying to figure it out at first until I realized you just have to kind of pry it off of there. And that way you can get it off. Once you get it to a certain point, it'll slide right off. Alright, so now there's 3 screws that hold this cover on the gearbox here. It's actually a nifty little contraption. Alright, when you lift the cover off, you can see here is the assembly that this is how it works for when you open up the door and close it. I think I'm not sure which is what. I think that might be when you open up the door, it does that, so it raises this pin, and then when you close it, it drops down into the notch. And what that does is it basically lowers this gear. If you watch this gear here, you can see at some point it raises it off. See how it's pinned to the shaft right there? At some point it raises it off of it so it can't spin. The shaft will spin, but that pin acts as a key and it's no longer attached. And then when you close it, it'll drop back down and spin freely. So, alright, but we want to take we got to take both these gears out of here and the shafts. This is a little tricky. This is a nut on here that is reverse threaded, and I'll just grab the side and show you. And there's a flat spot on here that goes on your blade that you can put like an L/16 wrench or something on there, pliers, whatever, to hold that. And once you get the nut off, grab our all 16th wrench here. And then we're going to go and unthread this rod from that gear. That's reverse threaded as well. There, and then you can take your shaft right out, and your gear will come out. Alright, this one right here is how I want this fitting on the top here. And that is also reverse threaded, by the way. And once you pop that out, you can take your oh, and there's a screw here that's got to come out, or at least most of the way out. You can see the end of the screw will ride in that little slot right there, and you can pull your whole assembly out. And you can go through, you can clean up your inside your gearbox, whatever, do what you got to do. Now you get all your gears and shafts and everything cleaned up. Now see, right now I'm at the point where I'm ready to put everything back together here. So I'm going to grab my grease and we'll just start putting her back together. And of course I'm going to start with this one right here. Make sure you have, plenty of grease on all your parts that move. The grease that was in here was nasty. I had to scrape a lot of it off. It was hard. I mean, very hard. There we go. Like I said, just coat all the moving parts really well. All the teeth of your gears. This thing definitely needs grease to survive. Alright, so I can go ahead and I can put my cap back on the top here now. And remember, it would be, normally it's righty tighty, lefty loosey. This is lefty tighty because it's reverse threaded. Get that snugged up. Make sure everything turns nice and free. Alright, so now we've got this shaft here, and you can see one end has got the flat spot on it where we put our wrench on there. That's the part that's going to be sticking out, but that's where these blades attach to, because you can see it fits there, only actually goes in from the other side. And I think I'm going to lube that up with a little layer of grease. This part that goes up inside. Yep, alright, I think that'll do. Probably should put the grease up inside of there, because I'm going to have some excess grease to clean off of here. But I guess that's alright. There is there is also a band of felt, like a wick, to stop anything from leaking out. So I'm just going to leave that like that and then go through and just clean that up here in a little bit after I get the rest of it together. But I do want to get some grease down underneath where that gear goes. Now I want to go ahead and, the gear you can see has got a shoulder on it. That shoulder got to go down. I want to go ahead and just put this on now. Lefty tighty. Alright, and you don't have to really torque the crap out of it because there is a nut that goes on top of it as well. That'll act like a jam nut. Alright. And once you got them jammed together, they're not going anywhere. Alright, so I'm going to get a decent amount of grease inside here. And also tighten up this little screw here. And just want to make sure that you can get, grease on all the surfaces, all the moving surfaces, your teeth of your gears and all that. Alright, so this part is now greased up. And on here, we do have a moving part on here that we can pop out. And that would be this one here. And we don't have to pop it all the way out, but just enough to get some grease on there, so that doesn't, get rusty or anything and seize up. I mean, it doesn't spin, but it does slide up and down. And being that this is a moving spot here, I want to get grease on that too. I mean, you don't need a lot in here. That should do her. Alright, so now we can put these two halves together. We're going to run our screws back in. So this is actually, it was tough to take apart because that jam nut and the gear were seized up there pretty good. I mean, I couldn't get them, I couldn't get those apart for anything. I mean, it took a long time. And I finally got them, and hopefully they're not all that way, but I mean, once you figure it out, I also, it took me a while trying to figure out what part had to come off first and all that, because I had never taken one of these apart before. As a matter of fact, this is the first time I've ever seen the slicer shredder attachment, and I did want one for a long time, just never got around to picking one up. So a friend of mine sold me this one. Okay, done with the grease. Now I just want to get everything tightened up here. Make sure everything turns. And look, it turns nice and easy now. I also want to clean up that excess grease that I got on this side here. Might as well just give it a wipe down, get our greasy fingerprints off of it. Alright, now we can go ahead and put our door back on. This is actually trickier than getting it off. There we go. Alright. Couldn't get my lock washer and screw together in the hole. Ah, stupid magnetic screwdriver. Alright, let's try this again. Alright, you can see we had a little bit of a bend out on there. That was from trying to get this off. So I think we're just going to tap it back down nice and straight. Make sure our switch works. And you can see when I've got that raised, I can turn this and the output shaft doesn't move. So that says that we've got everything hooked up together pretty good. Alright, now time to put the two halves together. And I think I want to run my little bolt here, my little carriage bolt in first. Just make sure I've got it centered in the hole. There we go. That way I'll sit nice and flush in there. And fortunately that isn't reverse threaded. But unfortunately you can't really get a socket down in there because it's too tight against the one side. So you could get a 1/2-inch wrench down there on it and get like short turns. I might even be able to get the all 16ths on it and get some small turns. There. Alright, now we got that reattached. We got screw that we got to put in up here. There we go. Make sure it's nice and tight. We've got our pusher, or whatever you call it. And this knob just threads on the end of it. Alright. Got our switch. Now we're ready to throw a blade in here. And these blades, like this one, I gotta sharpen this one up. I mean, it's, they do feel like they got a sharp edge, but there's some roughness on the top of it, so I'm going to go ahead and sharpen those up. But if I was to want to use this, I'll just go ahead and throw the blade on until it seats all the way. Reverse thread the wing nut on. There. Now she's ready to use. I can go ahead and well, I'm kind of doing it backwards, but get the idea. I can go ahead and I can slice. If I open up the door and I try to slice, it does nothing, absolutely nothing. So nice safety feature on there. The shredder I do have to do a little bit of work on. I mean, it's got some rust going on here. But I'll go ahead, I'll take care of that. I mean, it's not going to be perfect, but it's still going to work perfect for what I want to use it for. And I'll probably sharpen up the teeth on here as well. Some of them feel like they're like bent up, raised a little bit, so I don't think it'll be too bad to sharpen those up, just a little time consuming. But anyways, that's how you replace the grease on your slicer shredder attachment. So if you have any questions, just let me know. You can leave them down below, and I'll get back to you on that as soon as I can. If you like it, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Let me know that you liked it, and if you want, feel free to subscribe and click the bell so you can get notified of any updates. You never know what you never know what we're going to be posting. We've got a Magic Maid coming up, and we've got some other stuff. This was unexpected. This just came today, and I wanted to get it ready for use. And I thought, well, I might as well do a video of it after I had taken it apart, so you guys didn't get to see how nasty the grease was inside, but you got to see, you know, the clean version of it being taken apart, so that's always cool too. But anyways, appreciate you guys watching, and we will see you on the next one. Thanks.